press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello dear students, let me continue part 12 lecture from work energy power. Okay, so lecture number 12. See, anyhow, in the last lecture I covered some coefficient of restitution formulas. So let me recall the formulas. So we know coefficient of restitution nothing but it is the ratio of relative velocity of separation after the collision to the relative velocity of approach before the collision. So let me write the equations. So what is the one equation? E is equal to, you know, V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2, one formula. I think you remembered. And if a body falls from a height h, rebounds to a height h1, then we written E is equals to root of h1 by h. Okay, just I am writing formulas. And height attained by the body after n number of rebounds, we got this formula. I hope you remembered. Height attained by the body after n number of rebounds. If they ask you to find height attained by the body after third rebound, h3 is equal to e power 2 into 3 h. And in the same manner, we got time. So Tn also we can write it as e power n into t. This also possible because velocity we know, we written Vn is equal to e power n into v. In the same manner, t we can write. Okay. Of course, we got some formulas. T is equal to root of 2h by g, 1 plus e by 1 minus e, that also correct. And e power n into t also correct. So keep in mind. So V suffix n is e power n into v. If they ask you to find velocity after first rebound, so tell me, anyhow we know Vn is equal to e power n into v, and after first rebound, what is the velocity? Tell me now. V1 is equal to e into v. For suppose ball falls with a speed v and rebounds to something v1, means rebounds with a speed v1 like that. Okay, then what is this v1? V1 is equal to e power n into v. What is n? 1. So that means what? After first rebound, velocity changes to e times of the previous velocity. Keep in mind, after first rebound, velocity of the body changes to e times of the initial velocity, previous velocity. After second rebound, if they ask, after second rebound, e power 2 into previous initial velocity after second rebound. So v1, this is v2. After second rebound means v2 is equal to e square into v. Third rebound, e cube into v. Fourth rebound, e power 4 into v. Keep in mind, because next time I want to use this velocity in the next cases. So if the ball, for suppose ball falls with u and rebounds with v, then what is this v? Tell me. Okay, ball falls with a speed u before the collision, rebounds with a speed v, then what is this v? V is equal to e times of u. Got it? Same formula. V1 is there now. V1 is equal to e power n into v. E power n is nothing but 1 into v. So EV, if v is given, but what they given? U is given. Ball falls with u, rebounds with v. So this v after the collision, which is equivalent to e times of before the collision. Keep in mind. Okay, because next problems I am going to use this concept. That's why I am repeating now. V is equals to e times of u. Okay, v is equal to e times of u. For suppose if it falls with u cos theta, rebounds with v, ball falls with something u cos theta, whatever may be, u cos theta, rebounds with v, then what is that v? V is equal to e into that value, u cos theta. Okay, if falls with something u cos theta and rebounds with v, then that what is this v? V is equal to E into U cos theta, because I am going to use these concepts in the next problems. That's why I am repeating everything number of times now. So anyhow this is clear, and you know the distance travelled by the body before coming to rest, h into 1 plus e square by 1 minus e square. Time also known, clear. Average velocity written, average speed also written. Okay, keep in mind velocity after first rebound is equal to what? Velocity after first rebound is equal to e into velocity before the collision. Second rebound, e square into velocity before the collision. Third rebound, velocity means e cube into velocity before the collision. Keep in mind. So if it falls from u, see, falls with a speed u, rebounds with a speed v, this v which is equivalent to e times of this, e times of this. Keep in mind. Okay, useful a lot in some good questions. So based on the time, I am going to cover some good level of questions. So let me continue one same model with a small change. So find time of flight, range, maximum height of a projectile in a collision concept. Okay, of a projectile as shown. Projectile as shown. I am drawing diagram roughly. Say indirectly they given like this: a ball projected into the air by making an angle theta, like this. Okay, they given the question, but I am writing shortcut. Target is to get the, of course you know the time of flight, you know the maximum height, you know the range. That is equations in the previous chapter. Here let us get all the equations in terms of some coefficient of restitution. So here find t, range, height of a projectile as shown. See, the ball thrown into the air with a speed u. The ball thrown into the air with a speed u, and see it strikes here. This is first collision. First collision. Okay, E is the coefficient of restitution between floor and ball. Keep in mind, E is the coefficient of restitution between floor and ball. Small e is the coefficient of restitution between floor and this is ball or a body. Yeah. Then what is this? Range. And what is this? Height. And this is the time of flight. Let me start with t. Okay, this is first collision. First collision. So before the first collision, before the first collision, what is time of flight? 2u sin theta by g. Remember the formula? Before going to hit the floor, body, the projectile have time of flight. T is equals to 2u sin theta by g. Yeah. And the given coefficient of restitution between the ball and floor is E, then it will rebound like this. Rebound. This is what? Second collision. And tell me what speed it will rebound. Now this is my question. First it is moves with a speed u. Up to here is u only. Okay, u. Then next after first collision, up to here is before collision. Next after the collision, then what is the speed here? What is the speed after the first collision? E times of previous. Got the previous formula? E times of u, eu. Velocity changes to, speed changes to eu. Okay, eu. What is the next? E square u. Got the idea? Previous formula? E square u, e cube u, e power 4u. Finally the ball will comes to rest. This is what? E cube u, e power 4u, e power 5u, 6u, 7u, 8u, so on, e power nu. So why I written eu? After first rebound, if a ball falls with a speed u and if it rebound, then what is the velocity of that ball? V is equal to E times of the previous. Like V1 is equal to E power n into V. V1 is equal to e power n into v. What is e power n? 1. V. What is v? V nothing but u. So eu. So eu. Next, e square u, e cube u, e power 3u, sorry 4u, 5u, 6u, so on. So this is r. Let me write this is r1. This is h1, t1. Now time interval between first total time interval, first and second collision, means before going to hit the second, okay, second collision is t1. T1 is the time interval between first and second collision. T1 general formula 2u sin theta by g. 2u, u nothing but eu. Got it? What is u? U nothing but e times of u, because the ball moves with eu speed. Next ball moves with e square u speed, e cube u speed, e power 4, e power 5. 2 eu sin theta by g. So this let me write it as e into t. E right left. 2u sin theta by g nothing but t. Tell me the next. What is t2? So time interval between second third collision, second and third. Shall I write directly? T2 is equal to 2 e square u sin theta by g nothing but e square t. Now tell me, after n rebounds, similarly t power n, so tn, e power n into t. Just now we got a formula, this one already. Directly I can write that formula. Okay, tn. Now total time is equals to t plus t1. From here to here is t. Don't write like a previous t plus 2t, 1 plus 2t, 3, 2t2, 2t3. That is freely falling body case. This is the projectile case. From here to here is total time t. Next t1, next t2, next t3, so on. Now total time, something t dash, let me give. T plus t1 is et, e square t. Directly we can expect e cube t. T dash is the total time. T plus, if I take t common, 1 plus e square, so on. T dash is equals to t. This is 1 plus x square, 1 by 1 minus x. T dash is equals to t by 1 minus e. T dash is equal to, I got t by 1 minus e. If e is equal to 0, then what is t dash? Becomes t. That is what? E is equal to 0 means the collision is what? Collision is perfectly elastic. If E is equal to 1, then what is the T dash? 0. T dash is 0 means what? If E is equal to 1, T by 1 minus 1, 0. Means the ball never rebound. Ball sticks to the floor. Ball sticks to the floor means what? Inelastic. Okay. So this is inelastic collision. So finally I got relation between times. T dash I got it as t by 1 minus e. Okay. Take this one. Here identified how I am extending, means how velocity first projected with u, come out with u, next e square u, e cube u, so on. I have written everything clearly, write it now. In the same way, you try to find range and maximum height. You try to find it, range and maximum height. Yeah, try to find the range range formula u square sin 2 theta by g, otherwise u cos theta into t. That's better I think, because t calculated already. Range formula, horizontal component of velocity into time of flight, horizontal component of velocity into time of flight, u cos theta into t, u cos theta into t. Let us find before first collision range. Range is u cos theta into t, u cos theta into t. Okay, this is before first collision. Let me write t in terms of t only. Okay, keep as it is in terms of t. Otherwise use u square sin square theta by g, again you will get the same. Better you follow this. Okay, and between first and second collision, between first and second collision, what is the range? R1. R1 is equals to, tell me, u cos theta into t. But what is that u? U becomes EU. Got it? This is u. Nothing but EU. After first collision, EU cos theta into T1. T1 just now we got. T1 we got it, ET. See the previous derivation, ET. So EU cos theta, this is ET. This can be written as E square R, E into E square, U cos theta into T. U cos theta into T is R. So this is R1. And between second, third, R3. So this is R1, sorry, R2, second, third, R2. Speed is E square U, this is U, okay, cos theta into T2, H2, T2. Got it? U cos theta into T. U becomes E square U, cos theta. T becomes T2. R2 is equals to E square U cos theta. What is T2? E square T. Check it, previous one. E square T, just now I written. Et, E square T, E cube T, so on. Similarly, okay, let me write this one. R2 e power 4 into R. E square R, e power 4R, e power 6R, e power 8R, so on. What is Rn? E power 2 into nr. Correct? E square, e power 4, e power 6, e power 8. Now what is the total range? Total range R dash is R plus, R1 plus, R2 plus, R3 so on. R dash, R plus, R1 is what? E square R, R2, e power 4R, e power 6R, so on. R dash, take R common, 1 plus, e square, e power 4, e power 6, so on. This is like a 1 plus x square, x cube, so on. Again the same formula I am using now, R by 1 minus x. If E is equal to 0, then range is same. E is equal to 1, then range is E is equal to 1. If you substitute E is equal to 1, what is range? R by, earlier what I written time 0, t. See the previous condition, I am confusing now. Previous what I written, t dash is t by 1 minus e. If E is equal to 1, what is this t dash? T by 1 minus e. E is 1 means this is infinity. Maybe I written something 0, check it. I forgot what I written. So t dash is infinity. It will take infinity time. Check the previous condition. As I written or wrong, just you verify it. Maybe E is equal to 1 if I substitute. I written something 0. No, that's not 0, infinity. This value by 0, infinity. So R dash is infinity. For elastic collision, once you throw the ball like this, it will move up to infinity distance. It will take some infinity time. Just check the previous time t. Maybe I written something t 0. Just you check it. I don't know what I written. So this is range. R dash is infinity. Find h. Do it fast. Find h value. Verify the previous t. I think I forgot. Maybe that I written 0 or 1, that I don't know. Just you check it. Substitute e value 1, then it is clear. Something by 0, infinity. Get the height before first collision, height between first, second, third, fourth, so on. H1, H2, so on. Directly we can write one step only. By using proportionalities also we can expect the answers. R proportional to U, R proportional to T. U nothing but U increases E times every time. This is also E square, E power 4, E power 6, E power 8, so on. Directly we can write last step. Okay, if we expect correctly, direct we can write this step. In the same manner, height also same. Height proportional to what? U square. What is the height formula? Maximum height. U square sin square theta by 2g. 2g constant, leave it. Sin square theta, some leave it. Only height proportional to what? U square. U square nothing but E square, E power 4, E power 6, E power 8. Again same thing, R by 1 minus E square, H by 1 minus E square you will get. Okay, let me extend the steps. Before first collision, height. Write along with me. So U square sin square theta by 2g. Between first and second collision, H1 is sin square theta anyhow constant, sin square theta by 2g. U becomes EU whole square. U becomes EU. That square is there. Then shall I write this as a E square H? E square H, E square, U square sin square theta by 2g, nothing but H. Then what is the next? E square H, H2 E U power 4. Yeah, here you observe it. Yeah, this is E square H. Here let me give one clarity. Of course, answer is correct. Next also E power 4h, E power 6h. See, okay, this is correct. No need to worry. U square as it is. Okay, E times of U square. This is E times of U square. Okay, not EU whole square. Just let us see once. Okay, see this, let me write U square sin square theta by 2g, U sin theta whole square by 2g. And see the next condition, I am writing like this, U sin theta whole square by 2g. This is actually maximum height, we know U square sin square theta by 2g. Here only U is changes, it starts with U. Next after first rebound, E into U times. Next E square into U, but not E square into U square, not E square into U square. So in the next case, U sin theta, let me write EU sin theta whole square by 2g. This is the better way. U becomes what? EU. Keep in mind, if I write EU whole square, I may get wrong. U in the next case EU. In the next case E square U. In the next case E cube U. So this can be written as E square. Okay, E square. Let me write E square outside. U sin theta whole square by 2G. This is E square H. Observe the third, between second and third, H2. H2, E, U. So, H2, observe it. First, U sin theta by 2G whole square. Next case, U becomes what? EU. Next case, this U becomes, first case is U becomes EU. Next, E square U. Only E changes, don't write E square U square. Okay, E square U sin theta square by 2G. So, H2 E square nothing but E power 4 U sin theta by 2G. Just to recall the previous, so 2G only for this one. This is E power 4 into H. Similarly, Hn E power 2 into N into H. Now the total height, something H dash, H plus, H1 plus, H2, H3, H dash, H plus, this E square H, this is E power 4H, so E square H, E power 4H, so on, H dash, H if you take common, 1 plus E square, E power 4, then this can be written as H dash, H by 1 minus E square. If E is equal to 1, E is equal to 0, then perfectly elastic collision, H dash is H. If E is equal to 1 for an inelastic collision, H dash is infinity. Okay? So, observe only one point carefully. Only U changes if it projected with U. After first rebound, EU. After the next rebound, speed is E square U, not E square U square. Third rebound, E cube U. Because we have a formula, V1 is equal to, or Vn is equal to E power n into V. Don't confuse here. Okay, I am stressing number of times now. Just, okay, don't confuse. Yeah, you got here. I written this one as a U sin theta. Next U becomes EU. Next case E square U, E cube U. In place of U, EU. Next case in place of this U, E square U. Remaining as it is. That you write outside and do the simple mathematics. You will get the answers. So we got time and we got height, we got range. In case of a projectile, once if they given coefficient of restitution between ball and floor is given. Okay, E is the coefficient of restitution between that ball and the floor. So this is somewhat good question. Please practice it. Let me start inelastic collision. Only formulas are enough to solve some problems. Write down heading inelastic head-on collision. So no need of derivation, just you make it as something note point. Inelastic head-on collision. Right, next one. So far we covered, means I covered only elastic collision. Now let me continue inelastic collision. Okay, semi-elastic collision. So here also two bodies are collided inelastically, then after the collision, the bodies will have some velocities v1, v2. Anyhow, we know v1, v2 values in case of elastic collision. What is v1 formula, v2 formula? v1 is m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. v2 is just replace 1 2 terms suffix, okay, 1 2 terms. v2 is like m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into u2 plus 2m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. So recall the previous formulas. Here also let us get the v1 v2 equations. Okay, no need to derive those equations, directly we can expect the answers. Anyhow, this is a body of mass m1 moves with speed u1 and m2 moves with a speed u2 before the collision. This is before the collision and this is during the collision and this is after the collision. Okay, no need of derivations here, only formula is sufficient. Let us see how I am going to write the formula. Of course, derivation also possible, matter of few steps. So, what are v1, v2, what are u1, u2? v1, v2 are the velocities of the body after the collision and u1, u2 are the velocities before the collision. Okay, before the collision. Anyhow, this is an inelastic collision. So, what type of law is satisfied? Only one law of conservation of linear momentum. So, from law of conservation of linear momentum, we have a formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2 which is equivalent to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is equation number 1. And anyhow, this is the inelastic collision, so definitely it will have some E value, and we know the coefficient of restitution formula v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. So we can write v2 minus v1 is equal to E u1 minus E u2. Okay, if I take v2 right side, E u1 E u2 plus v1, this is something second equation. Same process, earlier we have u1 minus u2 is equal to v2 minus v1, E as 1 because that is a perfectly elastic collision. Here extra E term is there, that's it. Substitute this v2 here, v2 is eliminated, then what you will get? v1. Substitute this v2, then v1 is going, v2 is eliminated, v2 converted into v1, and do the multiplications and take some terms left side and right side, take v1 on one side. See, just you substitute second equation in 1, you will get v1 formula. Okay, from this equation take these two values left side, v1 right side, take v1, substitute v1 here, v1 is eliminated, then you will get v2. Okay, that calculations you try at home. If you have a free time, you try at home, because no need to derive the expressions here. Okay, elastic collision, that they will come for board, so that I derived. This is also nothing, just I am going to left only few steps. Substitute this thing in equation 1, you will get v1. In place of v2, you substitute this one, you will get v1. Let us see how I am going to write that v1. See, I am writing like this, just you wait for a minute. m1, our formula, previous formula I am writing, m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1, previous formula only I am writing. Okay, m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. See, something I missed here. Here extra in front of m2, just I am writing E. I will tell you why I am writing. In place of 2, what is our formula? 2m2 u2. In place of 2, 1 plus E. Means if you substitute this value in equation 1, you will get this equation. Let us verify whether this equation is correct or not. How it is possible? If it is a perfectly elastic collision, substitute E value 1. Then you will get the previous answer. What is our previous answer? m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1. In place of E, if I write 1 plus 1, Nothing but 2. 2 m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Complete answer. No need of derivation. Now I am going to avoid the derivations. For next sessions also I am going to avoid the derivations now. I will give direct like this. Anyhow, got the answer. Substitute e value 1 here. You will get the previous answer. That means this formula is correct. Otherwise, if you have a free time, you substitute this value here. You will get the answer. Substitute this value here and extend it. You will get the answer. Okay. So no one will ask derivations in any board exam. So leave it. Remember the formula. It's clear. Only matter of few steps, but it is clear. Expectation also clear. M1, em2, in front of m2 you keep in mind e will be there. em2, m1 plus m2, u1. This 2 can be replaced by 1 plus e. m2 u2 by 1, m1 plus m2. Similarly, can anyone expect the v2? m1 replaced by m2. Keep e as it is. E m1, m1 plus m2, u2 plus 1 plus e as it is. m1 u1 m2. So this is v2. This is directly completed. Substitute e value 1, you will get elastic collision. So remember these two equations. So far you know v1, v2 formula for elastic collision. In the same manner you try to remember v1, v2 formulas for inelastic collision. In inelastic collision extra e will come here. E will come in front of this m2. And in place of 2 is there a 2 m2 u2. That 2 you replace with 1 plus e. Then these are the equations in case of inelastic collision. So write the two equations. No need of derivation. If it is needed, I will derive. Okay. Generally I had a habit of deriving everything. So it's not needed. I am leaving now. Just substitute this value here, then continue. Okay. Write v1, v2 formulas. So far you know v1, v2 formula for elastic collision. Now v1, v2 formula for inelastic collision. Semi-elastic. If they given e value 1, you will get elastic. Previous. Take e value 1, you will get the previous formulas. Now let us find some loss of energy here. So only equation is enough. That also I am going to show you directly. See, if derivation is needed compulsory means definitely I will derive. For board point of view. For entrances, okay, most of the cases I will derive. Anyhow, this is nothing, substitution, that you know. Now, anyhow, you know in elastic collision, there is no loss of energy. Because the shape and size of the body does not change, so there is no loss of energy in case of elastic collision. But here, there will be a loss of energy. Okay, definitely there will be a loss of energy because shape and size of the body changes after the collision. I think remember from the collision introduction. So, shape and size of the body changes. That's why there is a loss of energy. That loss of energy, let us find it now. Okay, again the equation is important. Keep in mind. So, write down heading. So this is inelastic head-on collision. Otherwise, you can write semi-elastic. Okay, in brackets, if you are interested, you can write semi-elastic. Previous one is semi-elastic. Okay. Now the next one, write down the next heading. Next heading. Perfectly inelastic collision. Write down the next. That also see I maintain as a note. Means only formulas are enough. Perfectly inelastic collision. Write down the heading. Perfectly. Okay, let me rub everything. Write down heading. Perfectly inelastic collision. And you write loss of energy, loss of kinetic energy. See, perfectly inelastic collision means you know already. After the collision, the two bodies are in contact with each other and they move together. So this is m1 moves with a speed u1, m2 moves with a speed u2, and after the collision the two bodies stick together, m1 m2 move with a v1 is equal to v2 is equal to v, means common velocity. This is the perfect inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision. Okay, so they move with common velocity. Perfectly inelastic collision general formula, you know, E is equal to what? V2 minus V1, U1 minus U2. What is perfectly inelastic collision? 0. V2 minus V1 by U1 minus U2, nothing but V2 is equal to V1. Verify. In a perfectly inelastic collision, E value 0. So U1 minus U2 into 0, V2 minus V1 is equal to 0, V2 is equal to V1. They will move with some common velocity. Let us get the common velocity. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to what? m1 v1 plus m2 v2. m1 u1 plus m2 u2, m1 v, m2 v. Take v common. m1 u1, m2 u2, v into m1 plus m2. So v is equals to m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. So this is the equation of what? Common velocity. So I got common velocity equation. Common velocity after the collision. Okay, common velocity after the collision. Now what is our target? So I got the common velocity equations. If they given 2 kg, 4 kg are moving with some speed 5 meter per second, 2 meter per second, after the collision they stick together and move with a common velocity. Then what is that common velocity? If they ask, v is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2, direct. Okay, basic equation. Now the target is loss of kinetic energy. Loss of kinetic energy. So loss of kinetic energy nothing but, so let me write like this, loss of kinetic energy, that can be written as delta Ke. We can write it as initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy. Initial, final. Kinetic energy before collision, kinetic energy after the collision. So initial kinetic energy is kinetic energy before collision. Kinetic energy before collision is half m1 u1 square, half m2 u2 square. This is kinetic energy before collision. Kinetic energy after the collision is half m, but after the collision the two bodies are stick together. After the collision the two bodies are stick together. So stick together means you can take combined mass m1 plus m2. You can take combined mass m1 plus m2, and they are moving with what speed? V speed. Okay, they are moving with V speed. Yeah. So V square. What is V? Substitute this value. See the extension. Why I am going to leave these derivations means, okay, not needed now. Half m1 u1 square, half m2 u2 square minus half m1 plus m2 v square. What is v? This one. m1 u1 plus m2 u2 m1 plus m2 whole square. See, 1 m1 m2 1 m1 m2 cancelled, then you split up. Okay, if you want I will show you, I don't mind. See, half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square, and 1 m1 into 1 m1 into cancelled, one more m1 m2 is there, that you take LCM and simplify. So after simplification, okay, no need of simplification, no need of derivations. Okay, if it is needed, definitely I will show you. Matter of 2 steps. m1 m2 just one m1 m2 one m1 cancel. Then what is there? m1 u1 whole square. You split this term. m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is there, na? You split up like a plus b whole square. A square plus b square plus 2ab by whole divided by m1 plus m2 is there. That m1 m2 you take LCM. So just you simplify. Otherwise better keep in mind half m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 u1 minus u2 whole square. See, this is the loss of kinetic energy. Okay, u1 minus u2 whole square, or in general, or we can write direct shortcut formula of m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 u1 minus u2 whole square 1 minus e square. So this is also the kinetic energy formula. If E is given, right now I calculated for what? Perfectly inelastic collision. For a perfectly inelastic collision, what is E value? For a perfectly inelastic collision, E value 0, substitute 0, you will get the same formula. So no need to worry about these derivations. See, just observe where I put a brackets. 1 common velocity formula, 1 more loss of kinetic energy, 1 more shortcut formula in regular case. If it is a perfectly inelastic, what is E value? E value 0, 1 minus 0, so you will get the above formula that I done for perfectly inelastic. If it is a semi-elastic collision, you write this formula, half m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 u1 minus u2 whole square 1 minus e square. E value means that lies in between 0 and 1. If it is a perfectly elastic collision, what is E value? Perfectly elastic collision, E value 1, substitute 1, 1 minus 1, 0, 0 into something, 0 means what? There is no loss of kinetic energy in perfectly elastic collision. Okay, no need to worry about this derivation. See the lengthy. Okay, if they ask for your board exams, definitely I will solve. Just you solve it if you have a free time. You will get this answer, no doubt at all. Okay, take this. Fraction also find delta Ke by some initial energy, final energy. See, this is the common velocity equation. If they are moving in same line, if they move in opposite direction, just you take minus sign. This body, if they move opposite with each other, m1 u1 minus m2 u2, after the collision, if they are in contact, m1 u1 minus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. We can find the ratio also, ratio of final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy. Okay, so you write this one, I will show you one more equation. Ratio of final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy, fractional kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy. Let me write two more formulas. Completed this. So let me write one more or two more formulas. Keep in mind, formulas are useful in solving some problems. So write the next one formula here. The ratio of loss of kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy when m2 is at rest. Okay, they will give this type of conditions in problems. If they ask you to find the ratio of loss of kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy, initial means before collision, initial kinetic energy when m2 is at rest. m2 is at rest means u2 0. Okay, now the ratio of kinetic energy to the initial. This is already done, half m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 u1 minus u2. u2 is 0 because m2 is at rest means u2 0. m2 0 means m2 is at rest means u2 0 by half m1 u1 square. m1 m1 half u1 square u1 square. Then what is the answer now? This is nothing but fractional loss. So you will get m2 by m1 plus m2. Keep the formula in mind. It will also help in solving some problems already done in the last elastic collisions. That is different. So this is the fractional loss of kinetic energy. You can find final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy. You write this one right side. Okay, let me write one more formula and then stop this class. So let me find the ratio of final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy when m2 is at rest. The ratio of final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy when m2 is at rest. That means u2 0. So final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy. Do it fast. Final kinetic energy, we got a equation. Initial kinetic energy known, clear. What is final kinetic energy? Half m1 m2 v square. V square, v is the common velocity, by half m1 u1 square. Half, strike off it half, m1 plus m2. What is v? Common velocity. When u2 0 means common velocity formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2. m2 u2, u2 0, so no need to write m1 u1 by m1 plus m2 whole square. Got this one? What is our basic formula? m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. u2 0 because according to our condition u2 0, so m1 u1 square. Now split up this term, 1 m1 u1 square, and here downside 1 m1 plus m2 is there, and one more m1 is there here. Check these calculations here. Okay, let me write one more step. You may confuse, I think. So let me write m1 plus m2 downside m1 u1 square. Don't strike up this one. m1 u1. This is m1 square. m1 u1 square by m1 plus m2 1 square. m1 1 m1 cancel, 1 u1 square cancelled, 1 m1 plus m2 1 m1 plus m2 cancelled, then m1 by m1 plus m2. So this also will help in some problems. So final kinetic energy to the initial kinetic energy, m1 by m1 plus m2. Okay. See, I am writing so many equations. Use all these equations and solve the problems. Okay. Anyhow, we are going to provide some assignment sheets. So try to solve the problems from assignment sheet. Almost collision, one more is there, oblique collision. That also let me continue in the next sessions.